quick, cause I just might stumble. Took a sec to get a grip so my world wouldn't crumble. Head down, the bell sounded. No, I can't be tripping in. Stayed to the door, so I'm a homegirl kicking in. I said, what's up? She said, nothing, my dear. Then I broke through the closet to select my gear. Some fly, of course. I had the dog to clean just in the shower. Ooh, now I'm crisp and clean. Put a grip in my purse, cause I'm ready to bail out. For the Africa charm, cause I ain't the one to sell out. Grab my keys, hit the breeze, and I'm out.
Good evening. Welcome to Platter Chatter, the show that critiques and analyzes music on the cutting edge of today's scene. I'm Scott Goldfine.
And my name is Malissia Simpson, and we want to say welcome again this evening. We're glad to have you with us.
That's right. We've got some terrific things on the show tonight. We've got 3 sophomore efforts. We're going to start off with Jeff Healey's new one, the unsighted guitar player who plays on his lap, which is very unusual. And this is his second effort, and it's called Hell to Pay.
And we're also going to be listening to Soul to Soul. This is their second album, and the name of the album is called Volume 2, 1990, A New Decade.
And we're going to put it all in a nice, tidy little package and close it up with the latest by Jerry Harrison of the Talking Heads. This is his own project in his band called Casual Gods, and the record is called Walk on Water. So, Jeff Healey, this is his first record since his debut some 2 years ago, which created quite a commotion among the rock and pop scene.
Yes, it did. I think this is a little weaker effort than his first album was. So why don't we jump right in? We're going to listen to Mr. Jeff Healey, and the first cut we're going to listen to is called
I Think I Love You Too Much. Jeff Healey.
Hi, you're back in studio. You were listening to Jeff Healey off of his new album called Hell to Pay. The name of that song was
I Think I Love You Too Much. That track written and also featuring Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, a very well-respected and highly regarded rock guitar player and songwriter. And that track, which is the single, the first single, is probably the most blues-based track on the record, unfortunately, in my book.
He's played with several different people also.
Oh yeah, he just had a recent. He just had a Jeff Healey, or
Jeff Healey.
Oh, okay. I thought you were referring to Mark Knopfler, who's
No.
guesting on this. Right, Jeff Healey. Well, he's been. I'm not sure if he's played with Stevie Ray, but he's been highly touted by the likes of Stevie Ray and B.B. King and various assorted sundry rock guitar and blues guitar legends. I happened to catch Jeff Healey at the Roxy last year, and he blew the roof off that place. I mean, just crystal clear guitar playing, cranked up loud, and just miraculous playing.
He really gets into his playing, too. You know, he gets really energized, and he stands up and he starts to play. It's really something to see.
It is. Well, you know, his style, which is a laptop, if you haven't seen him play, plays the laptop style, the slide guitar style. He says he plays that way because when he first was getting into the guitar as a little kid, he learned that way, and when he tried to go to the traditional way, it just didn't flow. But it allows him to have great dexterity over the entire fretboard, and it looks so easy, and he's playing Hendrix-like, you know, riffs. Amazing.
Well, we're going to listen to another cut off of this album. This is an old Beatles song. You might remember it. It's called While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Jeff Healey.
Greetings, back in studio listening to Jeff Healey, and that's a remake of the classic Beatles tune off the White Album from 1968 called While My Guitar Gently Weeps. That track does feature George Harrison and Jeff Lynne of ELO and of more recently the Traveling Wilburys. What do you think of that track?
Personally, I think this is the best song on the whole album.
Mm-hmm.
The album, I mean, the playing, you know, the musicianship is terrific, but it seems to get bogged down. It just seems a little too slow and not as upbeat as his last album, See the Light. Well,
certainly, I have to agree that this album doesn't quite measure up to the first one. The first one I found was its high points were really high, but it did have some tunes that were very mediocre. But it had a lot of variety. There were a couple of instrumentals on that record called See the Light, incidentally, which I think either won or was nominated for a Grammy or two. Mm-hmm. It also featured a cover of the ZZ Top tune, which was good, called Blue Jean Blues, and Confidence Man by John Hyde. There was a lot of things to choose from on that first record. I think there's only a couple of tunes to really choose from on this new one.
I think so. So, Scott, on our disc rating system from 1 to 5, 5 being best, how are you going to rate this?
Well, as much as I hate to, I can only go as high as a 2 for Jeff Healey, even though I had great expectations for this. Perhaps that's part of the problem. I had really great expectations for it because it's been almost 2 years since his terrific debut. And unfortunately, I think he's veering too much towards mainstream rock rather than honing in on the blues quality of his music. So I give it a 2.
Well, as much as I hate disagreeing with you, I'm going to give it a 2 also.
Disagreeing.
Well,
You're agreeing. I give it a 2.
Okay, well, I'm going to give it a 2. And I feel that, like you said, that he really, concentrating on the blues, I think, is really his forte. And I think he's very strong in that. And it's, it's hard to come back with a second album and make it as good as the first one. It's difficult to do that. And I think people expect that from you when you've gotten rave reviews. And it's difficult to, meet that challenge.
Well, in his case, he took so long to come back with this one, and he's got stellar help, such as, the people I mentioned. And, on our year-end show for 1989, for the year 1988, I named him Most Promising New Artist over people like Living Colour and Tracy Chapman. And I still think he can live up to that, but better luck next time, Jeff.
Well, we're going to move on. We're going to listen to Soul to Soul. This is their second album. Their first one was called Keep On Moving, which went flying up the charts.
Oh, yeah, it was platinum, had a couple of huge pop hits, worldwide smash.
They won 2 Grammys.
They won like a bunch of American Music Awards and Soul Train Awards, and just unbelievable. So why don't you introduce this video?
Okay, we're going to listen to a song called A Dream's a Dream. This is Soul to Soul.
my arms and I'll welcome you. And I hope that this dream will come true.
We're back in studio. You were listening to Soul to Soul. The name of the lead singer is Victoria Wilson James.
That's right.
This album, I think, is very precise. And I see that because there's so many different elements. And there's jazz, there's funk, there's a little bit of rock and roll, there's a little bit... and the music, you know, you mentioned the other day about electronics. Mm-hmm. The electronics in this, because they play music, but the electronics are so refined that it's almost like taking several elements and just putting them into one box and squeezing it so it's one thing, and it's perfect.
Yeah, they're a melting pot of styles. The leaders of the guys who really put it all together are Jazzy B and Nellie Hooper, and they're the masterminds behind this whole thing. Mm-hmm. They call all the people involved with this whole scene. They've created a kind of whole culture, soul-to-soul subculture, and they call them the Funky Dreads, and their simple motto is a happy face, a thumping bass for a loving race. And I think they live up to it. So let's check out the next tune, which is features the Kim Mazel on vocals, who sang back up on the Rolling Stones last tour. And very Shaka Khan-ish, nice vocal on this, and it's called Missing You. Welcome back to Platter Chatter. In studio, we're listening to Soul to Soul. That was called Missing You. I think it'd be an excellent choice to have that as a single. To me, it's more appealing than A Dream's a Dream, which is the current single. But maybe the third single will choose Missing You because very, very nice.
There's another song on this album called Time, which is an instrumental, but it's just so cool, you know. On our disc rating system, from 1 to 5, 5 being best, I'm going to give them a 5.
5?
A 5. I
think that's the first 5 of our season.
Well, it probably is, but I think this is a very well-rounded album. I think it has so many wonderful elements of music in it, and as I said, it's so tight and so cohesive that there's no way that you can say this isn't a great album. You know, there's something in there for everybody.
What I think distinguishes what they do from other people are two things, and that is Jazzy B and Nellie Hooper just have a great knack for arrangements. They take a lot of electronics, there's real instruments and electronics, but they use a lot of subtlety, and the arrangements that they use give it a very unique sound that is identifiable as a soul-to-soul sound and different from everyone else, and not really that complicated, but just put together very nicely. In our disc rating system, 1 to 5, 5 being best, I got to give Soul to Soul a rating of 4 discs.
All right, very good. We're looking for bigger and better things from them also. We're going to move on to a gentleman by the name of Jerry Harrison. Mr. Harrison is a 13-year member of a group that you might know of called the Talking Heads.
Oh, I hope anyone who watches this show knows who the Talking Heads are. But Jerry Harrison, keyboard player from the band. He also plays guitar on his album as well. This is his second album, following one a couple years back, which did so-so. I think this one is a little bit of an improvement. And why don't you tell them what our first cut is?
The name of the first cut, Scott, is called Flying Under Radar. Jerry Harrison. Back in studio, you were listening to Jerry Harrison. His new album is called Walk on Water, and that was the cut called
Flying Under Radar, which is the track that's being pushed at least at modern radio, such as KROQ here in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if it's going to be released as a single or not, but one thing he said he wanted to do on this record, as opposed to the last one, was give it a little more of a rock edge, a little more guitar and a little less keyboard oriented.
He's very interesting. He's done a soundtrack for Jonathan Demme's movie called Something Wild. He also did the anti-Reagan 5-minute message during the 1984.
With Bootsy Collins.
Exactly. He's very talented. He taught at Harvard, where he went to school. And, he's doing all these things, but it's all music, and it's great. And I think out of the Talking Heads, he's probably got the best track record for it.
You think so? Well, also the Tom Tom Club, of course, we reviewed here, I think, last year, and we were kind of lukewarm on that. But Jerry Harrison, a lot of variety in his music, and he apparently is very high on this record and has real high hopes for it.
Well, we're going to listen to the next cut, and it is called Never Let It Slip, Jerry Harrison.
Don't have to say you're sorry. Be alright if you try to. Wet your whistle on my lips and tell me secrets I'll never, ever, ever let us slip. Never let us slip. How come somebody told you it's too good to be untrue? Won't be the one.
Hi, we're back in studio. You were listening to Jerry Harrison and Never Let It Slip.
Yeah. This album, as many of the Talking Heads projects, includes a lot of great session players such as Bernie Worrell.
Your favorite.
Yes, and a lot of other notable people. This is more rock and roll oriented. There's no doubt that it stems from the Talking Heads influence. It sounds like a lot of the tracks, you could easily just put David Byrne in there singing. And, David Byrne's solo album really didn't appeal to me much that he put out recently, the Brazilian types of music. And I think this is a much more successful solo endeavor for a Talking Heads member. In our disc rating system, 1 to 5, I got to give Mr. Harrison a 3, which is probably about a half to a full disc higher than I would have given his last record.
Well, Scott, I'm going to give him a 3 also. I think this is a pretty good album. I think it's pretty well-rounded. The music's good. And as I said before, keeping in mind all the other members of the group that really haven't done that well, I think he's probably done the best out of all of them. And he sounds a little bit like David Byrne, in a way. Maybe that's because he's been with Southern Youth for 13 years.
Yeah, there definitely are instances when he sounds like David Byrne. Anyway, we're going to talk about a few issues now. First off, in case you tuned in late, why don't we sum up our ratings in case for people who tuned in late. The first thing we talked about was Jeff Healey. His latest called Hell to Pay, and I gave him a rating of 2 discs. And Melissa
gave him a rating also of 2 discs.
We concurred on that one. Then we talked about Soul to Soul's latest, and I gave it a rating of 4 discs, pretty damn good.
And I gave it a rating of 5. Scott, you don't know what's good. You should have rated it 5 too.
Thank you, Melissa. And then we just wound it down with Jerry Harrison, which I think we both gave it 3, correct?
Exactly.
Correct. Okay.
So we're caught up, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Got a couple things to talk about you before we part company this evening, and one of them is for all you P-Funk fans of Parliament, Funkadelic, George Clinton, Bootsy, that whole scene. There is a organization based in West Germany which puts out a publication called the New Funk Times. It's basically just a fan club, and I just wanted to share with you the address of that in case you would like to write them. They're called Funketeers International, and the address is, I have to spell it because I can't pronounce this, it's in German, EHRENSTRASSE 19 5000, and then spelling this out, KOELN, numeral 1, West Germany. Write them and check it out. Come out of the closet, all you P-Funkers. Okay. Another issue that's come to light. About a year or so ago, we reviewed a band on here called Masters of Reality, and we raved about them. They're a hard rock band, and
it was like a throwback from the 70s, but a really good throwback from the 70s. That's kind of what they sound like.
They were outstanding.
Absolutely.
And I don't remember what you rated them, but I gave them the highest rating, and they were my...
I gave them a 4. Okay.
Right, at that time we only went as high as 4.
Right.
So, and I had them picked as the second best record of last year. The good news about them, they were overlooked. They've been re-signed to another label, and it's being re-released. So because people have such faith in the project, they're re-releasing it. So check out Masters of Reality the second time around. You don't want to miss out twice on them.
Now, does this mean that when they re-release it, that they're really going to push the album?
Well, hopefully, as much as they're on Delicious Vinyl now, who traditionally has done rap acts such as Tone Loc and Young MC, who's suing the label now, speaking of hopefully Masters of Reality have better luck.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
And?
Well, coming attractions.
Living Color.
Living Color's coming out in September. That'll be a ways off. There's some other projects that'll be coming to light. We're waiting on an album from Bootsy. He's got a 12-inch out.
Right.
That could be coming. Prince Graffiti Bridge is just a couple of months off, and this double soundtrack from that featuring Mavis Staples and George Clinton.
I can't wait to hear that. I just know that that's just going to be spectacular. I predict that his new album, along with the movie, is going to be as big as Let's Go Crazy was with Purple Rain.
It could be. We do want to say one thing. Once again, labels, thank you for your cooperation, sending the videos. You've been a great help to us. Keep doing it. And we want to say about, as far as other programming at this time on Sundays, we've got our own Simpson, Malissia Simpson, right here.
Yay!
So forget the darn Simpsons and tune in right here, Channel 3, 8:30, Platter Chatter, Sunday nights. So
we are going to take you out with a group called State of Art. Some of the members in the group are from a previous group called Chic.
That's right. The lead singer was from Chic, and their album is forthcoming. We may do that on the show as well. So until next week, I'm Scott Goldfine.
And I'm Malissia Simpson, and we want to say good night, thank you, bye.